From zenit.org, this is what Pope Leo XIV has said about female diaconate, the LGBT community in the Church, and sexual abuse. The new book interview about Leo XIV not only offers an intimate look at his life, but also becomes a kind of pastoral manifesto of the first steps of his pontificate. In it, the Pope bluntly addresses some of the most divisive issues within and outside the Church, the place of women, the acceptance of LGBT Catholics, and the wound of sexual abuse. The American Peruvian pontiff, interviewed at length by journalist Elise Ann Allen for the biography Paul XIV, Citizen of the World, Missionary of the 21st Century, published by Penguin Peru, made it clear that his style will be a continuation of Francis's approach to welcoming, but also of maintaining the Church's teaching. Everyone is invited, but I don't invite anyone because of a specific identity, said Pope Leo, but because they are a son or daughter of God. He affirmed, recalling his predecessors, all. That all does not, however, mean immediate changes in doctrine. Leo XIV acknowledged that pressure to accept same-sex marriage or transgender identities is growing in some quarters, but he assured us that, quote, the teaching of the Church will continue as it is, end of quote. He did ask for a change in attitudes and tone, respect, acceptance, and mutual listening. He expressed it with a pastoral gesture, quote, let us get to know and respect one another. At some point, when specific concerns arise, they will have to be addressed, end of quote. His reflection included a comment that resonated with him during the Synod. The Western world is obsessed with sexuality, a cardinal from the East told him. This statement, he acknowledged, continues to challenge him because it reveals that in other regions, priorities are different and the insistence on issues of sexuality, quote, polarizes and distracts from the central mission of the Church, end of quote. The family appears as another of his pillars. Leo XIV champions what he calls the traditional family, father, mother, and children, as the first space where one learns to live with others, to love, to respect, and to tolerate. Quote, if you eliminate that basic pillar, it becomes very difficult to learn it anywhere else. End of quote, he warned. He drew on his own experience. He recalled the stable and happy union of his parents and the strong bond with his siblings, despite political differences. These roots, he confesses, have decisively shaped his way of being and exercising his ministry. The Pope also did not avoid one of the most painful specters hanging over the Church, sexual abuse. He spoke of a true crisis and of the urgency of maintaining a deep sensitivity toward the victims. Some wounds last a lifetime, he said. Financial compensation or removing the perpetrator is not enough. Accompaniment must be constant, he noted. He acknowledged that many victims have left the church and called for respect for that decision as well. At the same time, he stressed the need to guarantee the presumption of innocence and protect the rights of the accused, noting that a small percentage of cases prove false. Saying this can be painful, I know, but justice must protect everyone, victims and accused. He explained, admitting that the slow pace of canonical proceedings is a source of frustration that has yet to find an easy solution. In the interview, Pope Leo XIV also addressed the Synod's debates on women and the diaconate. He acknowledged that the ordination of deaconesses remains an open but complex issue and warned of the risk of clericalizing women instead of more broadly recognizing their gifts in ecclesial life. He insisted that the discussion must mature before taking definitive steps. He added, "For the moment, I have no intention of changing the Church's teaching on this issue." The new Pope therefore moves between doctrinal fidelity and pastoral openness. He doesn't promise revolutions, but rather concrete gestures of closeness and a serene perspective on divisive realities. The Church must continue proclaiming the gospel, he emphasized, and while doing so, she must learn to heal wounds, not to close herself off in polarizations, and not to lose sight of the fact that, in his own words, all are welcome.